One is huge. What is it?
Huge.
What is it?
Huge.
Huge. Trio Day is a national holiday about trio. Okay? So people across the country, 2,800 programs, over 850,000 alumni, current students in trio, are impacted, right? And so what happens is across the country people celebrate in different ways. Through advocacy, through service, through creating leadership opportunities that day. And so we're going to be doing kind of like a day of celebration, and I think there's going to be a service component. And it's not just ASU, it says ASU, it's really AZ Trio Day. But we're going to be people from Phoenix College, South Mountain, and the surrounding areas in the valley are going to be joining us. So we're going to do it right downtown. Okay? They're going to be elected officials there, potentially. Community leaders, people that are invested in TRIO. So it's a day for us to showcase its importance and have people who have influence, right, spheres of influence in government, continue to advocate. So we invite you, we meaning all of the folks who are planning this TRIO Day and around the city, we invite you to please attend. And obviously, no kind of support. And that's what y'all is like to care. We encourage you all to come. Questions on January and February thus far? Or comments? I do. Question. Someone ask a question. I'll tell you something.
Hey, Don, give yourself a just break. Melissa will talk real quick.
Yeah, come on up. Everyone, round of applause for your president. Come on, guys. Good job. A lot of them more than that. Give it up for Melissa. She does a lot for you all behind the scenes.
Hi, how are you guys? How are y'all? So I just wanted to pass out some little Trio Devils flyers. How many of you have heard of Trio Devils? How many of you have heard of Trio Devils? Yay! How many of you have not heard of Trio Devils? Okay, cool. Well, I just want to tell you a little bit about it. So it started last spring, but this year we've really worked on kind of building a foundation for it and started doing more stuff. So our motto for Trio Devils is support community and family. So we're here to support you just like our Trio family is in your academics and your goals, and just love you and encourage you for who you are and be a family. So that gets our support and family, and then we volunteer in the community. So we give back. Some of the things we've done this last semester is we did holiday cards for senior citizens and children at Arizonans for Children. Thank you to Letty. And then this weekend we're going to be volunteering with Changemaker Central for MLK Day of Service. So if you're interested in that as well, you can connect with the Trio Devils e-board member. We can get you signed up and help you register. And our first meeting is going to be next week. If you're interested in learning more about Trio Devils or coming to our meeting, feel free to connect with us either through email or our Facebook page, or just come and talk to us, however you want. We'd love to connect with you. And then the second survey is on behalf of the Trio SLB committee. That survey is for Trio after hours. So we want to advocate for you if those hours would be helpful for you. Just please fill it out and then we'll collect them. Some other things Trio SLB is working on are the suggestion box. So any suggestions that you may have for Trio, we want to hear from you. And then also the Trio Wall of Fame. So if you have any peers that you'd like to shine light on and kind of acknowledge, or we'd love to hear who they are and acknowledge them in that way.
What's SLB?
Oh, I'm sorry, Student Leadership Board, Trio Student Leadership Board. So they're kind of like a USGB student government for Trio.
So the suggestion box that goes to Student Leadership Board, they take your suggestions. They're thinking strategically about 4 things. How to create mentorship opportunities for you all to mentor, how to collect resources for you all, how to improve services, and how to engage more students. Those are the 4 pillars that they work on. Any questions for Melissa? She has two hats on, her Trio Devils hat and then her Student Leadership Board hat.
I have a question. What time next week?
2 p.m.
2 p.m.
2 p.m. in Changemaker Central.
So not tomorrow, but next Friday.
Yes, next Friday.
Yeah.
Oh, and also, sure those, if you're interested in an e-board position, we have our Kim, our secretary, she graduated last semester, so we have an open e-board position if any of you are interested.
Excellent for gaining experience, leadership experience, and as a result, something that you can speak about if you are applying for a job in the future or trying to get other leadership positions on campus. That's a good way of kind of boosting that resume, meaning kind of getting experience and becoming a leader on campus. Questions, concerns, comments? Alright, thank you, Melissa.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
Shall we ask?
So, go back to where we were. Workshop. March. Identity theft. How many of you know exactly how to identify if you are a victim of identity theft? How many of you know if someone's using your credit right now, your social security number for stuff? How do you know? Yeah? You got a few of you know? Okay, so if you don't know, or even if you do know and need to get more information, Identity Theft Workshop, excellent workshop on that. Okay, we have to protect ourselves because it can take months and sometimes years to fix really bad identity. If someone's stolen your identity and have been using it for, sometimes you might even have, there's people that, depending on what they've done, people have knocked on their door and have been arrested on the spot because someone else has been using their credit or their social security number for illegal activities. Okay, so you definitely want to stay on top of that. How many of you have ever checked your credit through not credit score, your credit report? Have pulled up your full credit report? How many of you did it in the last 6 months? Good job.
Quick question.
Yes.
How would you do that?
There's a free credit, the federal government has free credit reports for all the 3 agencies, Experian, TransUnion, and I forget the last one. Equifax. So there's a website, annualcreditreport.com, I think. I can send it to you, I'll find it. I'll send it to everybody, or I'll put it on the Facebook website. So you can just go.
I
Yes.
don't like Facebook, I don't use that.
Oh, okay, well then
So,
I'll just email it to you.
Our Facebook page is public, so even if you don't have a Facebook account,
I just
it's
don't like the program because I don't know what the whole obsession is
Oh.
with it, so I hate it.
okay.
And I refuse to
Okay.
use it.
Oh, no, that's
Okay,
good.
no,
Okay.
I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically what it is you have a chance to get all your free credit reports from all three of the agencies, and you can spread it out. You don't have to get all 3 at one time. You could get one in the beginning of the year, one in the middle, and one at the end. So this way you could see it, and you could see if there's any transactions or anything that's different from one to the other.
Sweet. True Career Conference. This one's huge. What is it?
Huge.
Yes. Okay. So how many of you have been to the graduate conference that happens every fall? True Graduate Conference. Okay. So what happens? We took that model and we're like, for those who haven't been, in the fall we do a graduate conference to prepare you for graduate school, right? How to write a personal statement, how to finance your graduate school, how to pick a school, all that stuff, right? We're now in the spring, we're starting Trio career conferences. So how to prepare for a career, how to pick careers, how to, they're gonna have mock interviews on site. We're gonna do a lot of different things to prepare you, to transition you into your careers. All right, so stay tuned for information. That's gonna be, I think, well worth your while. And these things are exclusively for Trio students. So it's kind of a more intimate setting. You have career professionals there that you can ask questions and get some mentoring. Our Romeo and Juliet is our cultural activity. One of our 2 cultural activities. We're going to see Romeo and Juliet by Arizona Theater Company over here at the Herberger Theater. So stay tuned for more information on that. First year success symposium. Honestly, I don't know what this is yet, because we were just told that we're gonna do a first year success symposium. And the First Year Success Center got funding for this, but other than the fact that it's happening, we don't know what's happening yet, because they haven't built it. So
it's
stay
just
tuned.
like for first year students?
Yes, yeah, I think it's a symposium specifically for first year freshmen, yeah. Navigating job finances. How many of you know how to pick a retirement plan? Like which retirement plan to pick? One. How many of you know how to even start a retirement plan? You're like, I'm gonna start right now. How do I do that? Right? How many of you know how to read all the different taxes and everything on your pay stub? Like if you get paid, you know exactly all those deductions and what those mean to you, right? Okay. So this workshop is for that. It helps you understand the workplace and all the forms and kind of things to consider, health insurance and retirement plans and Roth IRAs and all that stuff. So make sure you go to that. Trio Student Leadership Conference, Arizona West Stop, which is the regional organization for all Trio programs, Trio staff and students. Okay, are put on every year a conference called the SLC, the Student Leadership Conference. How many of you have been to that before? The Student Leadership Conference. Really? Steph, you haven't been to that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't see your hand behind her that. Leadership development. A lot of really good stuff happened there. So I encourage you to go. And we're actually gonna be sending out the link to register tomorrow at some point. So stay tuned for that. Professional communication and net etiquette. This is part of career services liaison. This is part of career services series. And they kind of teach you how to communicate in a workplace, or how to communicate with potential people that you're networking in for your careers. And how to build your a network as well. And the last one is the end of your banquet. This one is huge. What is it?
Huge.
Yes, the banquet. We're gonna be celebrating grads. That's one of the things we do there. We celebrate everyone for kind of like, oh my gosh, semester's over. and then we also have a cultural activity that we're still kind of planning through and stuff. So it'll also be kind of a night of fun. We're gonna have really good dinner. And so Trio Devils has decided that they want to partner with Trio in creating this. And so there might be some kind of new things, or maybe we might be able to have it bigger and invite some more folks outside of Trio, so stay tuned to that. Questions on this calendar? Okay. Either I'm boring or I'm really good.
Really good.
Really
So,
good.
how many of you have received a newsletter before? I've read it online. Okay. So we're gonna talk about this. We're gonna take it over, Nina. We have some cool things happening this semester and onward.
Okay, so normally it'll look better than this right now. I was having computer issues, so yeah, one stack for each table. There's not enough for everyone, but we'll print out more and they'll be in the Trio office if you guys want them. We're starting a new concept with our newsletter. We're kind of making it more interactive for you guys. So it'll have the basic stuff on it. It'll have ASU news, stuff that's going on with ASU. And then it'll have like Trio news, and usually we'll have Trio Devil stuff on here, but I'm not 100% sure where that column went. We'll have a monthly like tip or trick on there to help you guys stay healthy or keep track of your money or stuff like that. We're putting budget-friendly recipes that you guys can make in your dorms or just at home when you don't know what to cook. Monthly, we will have a Trio poll, which will just be something funny like this. This month we put who's most likely to steal candy from the store.
Have you seen it all?
What?
Better get away with
And that will
nobody
have-
going.
And we'll have somewhere set up where you guys can vote on that. And then we'll also have a place for you guys to answer the question of the month, and we will take just some of the answers that we liked or thought were funny or thought were inspirational. We also have Trio updates, and there's a section on the last page where it says submit your work. that one is something I'm really excited about personally. It is where you guys can bring in, like if you draw, bring in drawings, if you paint, like bring those in, if you write poetry, if you write short stories, stuff like that, so that we can include it in there and you guys can show it off. And if you guys want it anonymous, we can make it anonymous, but that's you. And then also, if there's anything you guys want to get out there, like something that you guys are, like a company that you're volunteering for, or there's a group that you're involved in and they're having an event, just let me know. Starla is also involved, and so is Frida. Or you can email us, or you can just come into the office and tell us, and we will be glad to put it into the newsletter for you.
Questions? Thoughts? You all like this? You like this concept?
Yes.
Totally student run. That's all them.
So when's the first newsletter going out?
I just passed them out. You can have this one. But they haven't tried. We will have some. Okay, yeah, we'll have some in the office as well. Usually at all times, like so until we have the February one out, we'll keep copies of the January copy. And then just as the months go by, yeah.
Just to clarify my confusion, are you both doing the hard copy and digital? Or are you
Yes,
just doing the
we
hard
will
copy?
still be emailing you guys a copy as
Okay.
well. But I know some people like the hard copy better. I know I like a hard copy of things, so.
Okay, thank you.
Questions? Thoughts? I want to say thank you.
Thank you.
You guys have put a lot of effort into thinking this through, and this was kind of like, it happened a little bit quicker than we hoped. Like, oh my gosh, we're gonna put it together. So they did a great job of putting some stuff together for January, and stay tuned to February, because if this is what they came out with in just a couple days, I can only imagine after a month of work. It's gonna be fabulous. So thank you so much. Yay! Tutoring coaching, I think we said already, yeah, we're hiring tutors, so probably 2 more. We have 3 different types of structures. We have our traditional appointments where you have an 8 to 5 appointment. You come into the office and you meet with them for an hour a week, and it can be recurring, it can be a one-time thing, right? And it's structured, it's your time in the office between 8 and 5. Then we have our office hour times. Each tutor does 3 hours a week where there is no appointment, ideally. There is no appointment, and they're just kind of waiting for you all, kind of first come, first serve. But you can email them and say, hey, I'm going to go to your office hours later. And you guys just show up, and then you can kind of take that block. But it's 3 hours where they're literally there, eager and waiting for you to help with a quick question or a full tutoring session. First come, first serve, so if you arrive, you didn't make an appointment, obviously it's office hours, like a professor. They may already be busy with someone else. Okay? And then flex time. If you are unable to accommodate an 8 to 5 tutoring session, not like I don't want to tutor 8 to 5, but like you can't, right, because of work or school or both, then we can do some flex time where we have a tutor that does more in the evening, so they might be able to meet with you like 7 or 8 p.m. on particular days. Alrighty? Questions on this? Yes.
Do coaches do flex time as well?
The tutors are coaches as well. So only the tutors who are coaches that do flex time can do. Yeah. And the biggest thing is to form a relationship with your tutor or your coach, and you can talk about it directly with them. We've told our coaches and tutors, like, because we trust them, right? They're coming up also with their own schedules, so they can meet, you and them can meet, talk directly if you have a relationship with them, and set up appointments, and they will take care of you. It's not like you have to come through me and I'm gonna be officially, no. Like, it's kind of very seamless, and our coaches, and we're working on some technology stuff. Maybe by fall we'll have it. We're working on trying to get a software where maybe in the future you just go directly on the website and you just submit your tutoring time. You don't have to even call us or ask us. It'll be kind of like setting up a time online to like see a study abroad advisor, or like in the College of Business they do advising appointments. Just go and click online. So stay tuned for that. We're continuing to improve our program. How many of you have this number on saved on your phone? If you are not raising your hand, please pull out your phone. If you have a phone, please pull it out and save this number on your phone right now. This is our office number. So there is no excuses in terms of if you need to call us for whatever reason. It should be, oh, I don't have your number. Nope, here's your call. A lot of times, students will email Ralph or me, hey, I want to meet with you, right? And what's the answer that we always provide? Well, I don't know about Ralph. Maybe Ralph is more of a softie.
Yeah.
But what is usually the response in the email when you ask for an appointment?
I'll make an appointment.
Yes. The reason is, if I say, okay, sure, are you available Tuesday at 1? No, I'm not. I'm busy. I'm available Wednesday at 3. We can't do Wednesday at 3. Can you do Thursday at 5? No, I can't do that. I'm working. It takes forever. Just give us a call. They'll pull up our schedules, and within 30 seconds, you have your appointment done. So much quicker. Or, hey, come on into the office and make an appointment personally. And we get to see your beautiful, shiny, smiling faces. Okay? Who wants to talk about money? Who wants some money? Oh, me too, please share. Okay. FAFSA, March 1st deadline. Okay? When is it? What's the deadline?
March 1st.
Does it mean that you are submitting it on February 28th? No. Right? Try to get it in as soon as possible. For those of you who are dependents, who file dependent status on your FAFSA, get on the folks who are dependent, so parents, legal guardians, whoever that is, and say, please, please, please do your taxes. Because sometimes they will wait till April, right? Because that's when taxes are due. But if FAFSA is due March 1st, it's easiest and most convenient if you can just get it in. You don't need to have your parents' income tax to file, but what's going to happen is if you file, say they will file, then you're going to have to provide documentation later on. It gets a little more complicated. You have to go back and do it. It's easiest to get it done, filed, income tax is done, and all that. And then for those of you who are independent, obviously you do your own taxes soon to get them done. Yes?
I have a question about filing. Do you still encourage filing ahead of time in regards to submitting your FAFSA early?
Say that one more time.
I said that when it comes to FAFSA, do you still encourage submitting it early?
Submitting the FAFSA early? Yes. There are particular scholarships that, some scholarships are kind of like on a bucket. Like I say, like Perkins loans, right? Schools only provide a certain amount of Perkins loans, because it's a really good loan. And it's kind of like, imagine like a pot of this money. And as soon as it gets allocated, like assigned to people because they completed their FAFSA and it goes through, that money's gone. And so you won't have access to that. So in order to be guaranteed the best grants and scholarships and loans, you gotta do it. That's why it's priority. Doesn't mean it's the deadline, but it's the priority deadline. Yeah, so that would say, like, try doing your taxes as early as possible to get all that information in and you can get the most accurate account of your finances. Yes?
Are we still considered a dependent if we live with our parents, but what if we're working?
So for the purposes of FAFSA, they have a particular, you can even Google just, am I considered independent per FAFSA? And it'll give you a list of particular statements that to see if they apply. If any of those apply to you, then you will be considered independent. So over 24, have dependents, like if you have children, if you're a veteran, all these different things can qualify you as independent. But if you answer no to those, then by default you would be dependent. And Ralph, you're a financial advisor.
You're right, so it's usually 24 years of age. So if you hit that marker, then you're considered independent automatically. Graduate students, which you guys are right now. If you're a veteran or an orphan or ward of the court, those are common statutes to be independent. But yeah, working and even if your parents are out of state, it's not considered independent for students.
Yeah. Does that answer your question? Did I answer your question as well?
Yeah, this is basically, it just depends on what you answer. That's what it comes down to.
Other questions on this? FAFSA? Okay, get them in. College Go FAFSA. It used to be called College Go Sunday and Saturday too. Anyone ever been to this event? Milka, what is it? What did you do there? I'm curious.
They had a lot of students set up with computers and they had people that come and fill out forms and
They tell you to bring stuff with you too. But basically they just walk around and or sit there with you and help you fill out the whole form.
Good. So instead of completing your FAFSA at home or in a coffee shop, bring whatever you were going to use to fill it out, bring it to this event. And so there's people there that are literally waiting to answer questions, volunteers and stuff, and financial aid counselors and stuff, so that you don't have to guess or know, you can, because sometimes FAFSA can be pretty tricky. I don't know about y'all, but that's pretty tricky for me.
Is it just for TRIO students or just for ASU in general?
It is a statewide event. They hold college bowl FAFSAs around the state. So you'll be having high school students come to this because it's their first time filling FAFSA. Undergrads, or many of you grad students filling out FAFSA for the first time. You never know. Yeah. Questions on that? And HI2 is the Nursing and Health Innovation, the second one, the one that's north. Okay. Aggregate limits. You can only get, you're like, I know what they're gonna do about that. You can only receive a full Pell 12 semesters, which is 6 years, right? After 12 semesters, you will not get Pell Grant ever again. It's done forever for you. So you want to space yourself out, right? And for those of you who started at ASU, right, unless you leave or take forever, right, it may be okay, but some of you have transferred from community college, and the community colleges, they don't teach you a lot of times this stuff. And so you're taking classes for a couple of years, and then it's like 4 years, and you've taken, a couple classes, you have your associates, but you still need another, now you need your bachelor's, and so that's where this comes in. We want to make sure that you plan accordingly to make sure that only 12 semesters of Pell. And then loans also have a limit. Do we know how much that is? Whew, nope, cut that in half. Yeah, 55,000, I think, 700? 57,500. $57,500. You have a question?
Yeah, is it six consecutive years, or is it just 6 years altogether?
6 years altogether. Assuming you're always eligible for it.
Assuming you take out the 100% every year. So if you go part-time, that's only 50% of what you're taking out, so it could be longer, but it's 100%.
Yeah. Other questions about aggregate limits? Basically, you have 12 semesters of full Pell, and 12 semesters of full Pell, and $57,000 of loans. Realistically, you should not be spending $57,000 of loans in undergrad, or even half that. So unless you absolutely need it, because your circumstances, avoid doing that, because you're gonna be paying loans for a long time. It's gonna be pricey. Especially since a lot of you are in health professions. The helping professions. And helping professions, right, are social workers, are criminal justice majors, people doing some reporting, right, public officers. We ain't making a whole lot of money. And so $50,000 of debt is a lot for someone who's making $35,000 a year. Okay? So you definitely want to kind of try all means scholarships, which leads us to scholarships. Okay? In life, you always work for stuff. So right, you either pay it with money, which means you worked for money, right? Or you put time into it. When you apply for scholarships, you have to see it as a job. You're applying 10 hours. If you spend 10 hours in an application process and you get a $1,000 scholarship, you get $1,000 for 10 hours of your work, right? So see it that way. There's a lot of opportunities. This is scholarship season. Between now and March 1st is really when the bulk of scholarships come out. So there are a few up there. Some of them are actual scholarships and some are scholarship portals, which we'll see now. Nina Mason is a kind of a scholarship, almost like a trio kind of program. It's a program, not just a scholarship. Through and we have some, anyone Nina Mason here? Nina Mason scholarship recipients? So I'm not going to go into the detail of all the scholarships, so just kind of do your research and feel free to come on into the office, meet with a coach, and they're happy to share this information with you and kind of search together with you. If you're interested in studying abroad, there's a Gilman Scholarship, I'll point that one out. It's a highly competitive scholarship, but it's specifically for Pell Grant eligible students who want to study abroad. And then there's a few other ones up there. I want to show you. So there's a few sites I want to show you. The Hispanic Scholarship Fund, HSF, is the largest provider of scholarships for Hispanic Latino students. Okay, so I would definitely recommend checking this